Hi, I'm Alicia from cookbook.com, and I just kind of wanted to share a video today about what goes into running a website like the Dizzy Cook and really a food blog in general, and then also what it means to be a migraine advocate. I've had a few messages lately that really kind of bothered me, mainly that I was kind of insinuating that I was really money hungry because of all the ads on my site, and this was really hurtful to me because I don't think people realize the amount of time, money, and work that goes into running a website like this. So I just wanted to be very transparent about what everything looks like from my end and why I put ads on the website and do things like affiliate links and all that, just so you can kind of get a clear picture about what this all means to me. So when I started the Dizzy Cook, I have vestibular migraine. It was meant to be a resource for people that I did not have. I didn't have anyone besides really Kayla who was talking about their personal experiences with it. No one who was really talking about the products they were testing to help, new treatments that were out, and definitely nothing on like any website about recipes for a migraine diet. And when you're really, really sick and dizzy all the time, I get it. You don't want to spend your time scrolling through websites and trying to dig out all this information. So I really wanted to have everything in one place that was easy for people to go to. And I remember when I first started it, I was like, no ads, because I know they make me dizzy. And I just want to avoid that as much as possible, which was great. Like at the time, I was with a really cheap website host, which kind of creates the platform for your web page. And then I was also designing everything myself. So the website was completely designed by me. I was also taking a lot of the pictures on my iPhone. So it was very low cost. It was only costing me about maybe like $100 a month, if that. And as I grew and had more people coming to the website, I wanted to make things that were easier to navigate. I think a lot of people had trouble still finding things on my website. It wasn't laid out quite as well as I would have hoped. The pictures weren't as appetizing as I'd like them to be, and so this involved things like investing in a DSLR camera and teaching myself how to do photography through courses and online books, and then also switching to a better host that would be faster so it doesn't take so long to download the pictures on my website. So after about a year or two, I decided I really wanted to invest in the dizzycook.com. And so that's what I did. So I had a website redesign last year, which I thought would make it easier for people to find different sections on vestibular migraine or different types of recipes that they were looking for. And all of this costs a little under $1,000. I also switched hosts. So hosting went from, like maybe $30 a month or something like that up to, a lot, twice as much basically. And so you're paying for that. I upgraded my recipe cards to include a metric system and also to include nutritional information, which isn't always accurate, but I know people like it. Again, just adding in that program, that's $200 every single year. So all of this stuff to be able to, give you Pinterest recipes in the right place, to be able to organize things that are more efficient for you, to make sure my website isn't super slow. All of this can cost anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a month. And at the time before I didn't have ads, I was asking for donations, but I was very rarely getting any donations to the site, and definitely not enough to cover a $500 to $1,000 bill every month. And this didn't include my groceries. This doesn't include, all the little extra programs that I add to make things more a better user experience for you guys. And it certainly doesn't mean I pay myself. So all of these things start to add up. And when you add in ads can make you anywhere from, depending on how much traffic you're getting. For my site, I was lucky to, be making $500 a month. But when COVID hit, I was getting twice the amount of traffic, but advertisers weren't spending the same amount of money. So my ad revenue got cut in half, or more than half. And that is really difficult because I still have to pay the people, I still have to pay my hosting, I still have to pay the people who help me if I have anything technical that goes wrong on the website, which it does. And although I know a little bit about web design and hosting and all that stuff, I cannot fix like HTML coding and stuff like that. So I have to pay for someone to help me with that stuff. So so ad revenue can be very unstable, especially in an economy like this. So it's not something you can depend on very regularly. And I want people to know that sometimes those months I don't even make enough to support what the my cost is just for running the website. So this is when I supplement with things like affiliate income. So like some of the affiliate brands that I really like to work with are Pure Wine. I just signed on with Alloy Lamp. Blisslets is another one. And usually these come about as a partnership because I really like their product. So either they'll reach out to me or I'll reach out to them and test out their products. And we kind of form a partnership that way. It's challenging because I have had to turn down some really large brands because like a medical resource I had to turn down because I can't test anything, any medicines or anything like that right now. And so that's hard to say no to that kind of income. But if I don't believe in a product or something like that, I can't step behind it because then I know my own, then I know you guys wouldn't trust me. So it's a balance of keeping my readers' trust and only promoting things I like, while also trying to supplement some income there. So ways you can help me, if there's a product that you're interested in and I have a link to it, like use my link, use my code. That's one way. I usually make a small percentage of the profit that the company gives back to me at no cost to you. And that can range anywhere from like $2 to $20 a product. So depending on like the cost of the product and stuff like that. So while it's a good supplement, it's not something you can successfully maintain as income because, some months, like around December, maybe more people are buying gifts. It's easier to make that affiliate income, but then other months or around COVID, no one feels like spending money. And so you can take a hit there. So both of these are not reliable incomes in any way. A third source of income for the website is through my cookbook. And I think a lot of people thought once you have a cookbook out, you make a majority of that profit. And it's actually not true. Actually, for every Amazon order, I only make less than $2 a book. But everyone loves to order from Amazon because it's cheap. And honestly, even if I buy the book straight from my publisher, which I have to do, which is crazy because I wrote it, but when I buy the book from my publisher, I cannot even buy it at the price and ship it for the price that Amazon is selling it. Like my hardcover, I cannot physically purchase that book for the price that they're selling it on Amazon. So Amazon makes it really hard on small businesses because I know you guys love it. It's so easy. and it's a great way to get things to you fast, and it's a good price and everything like that. But as far as like a way to support myself and my website, it's not practical. And so that's why I sell books through the dizzycookshop.com. So I think a lot of people forget that I have two websites that I'm kind of owning and have to get photography for and everything like that. Photography sessions can run, like $400 a session, but it's necessary to have a good product. And so I also pay for the hosting on the dizzycookshop.com. But it's a good way for me to be able to supplement that income to the Dizzy Cook as well. So when I sell books on there, I'm buying them from my publisher, I'm packaging them and shipping them out directly to you. In fact, all the products that come from the dizzycookshop.com. So I actually work with a really small print shop, local print shop here in Dallas. They do all the printing for me of these products, which is really great. It's not being made by some mass online company and shipped out to you by someone you don't know. It's all being done by me and my husband. And we package everything. I usually try to include like a note in your book and everything to make it extra special, but that's why things cost a little bit more on there, because I am having to shoulder the cost of all the shipping and also buying those books from my publisher. But instead of making less than $2 a book, I'm making more like $8 a book, which is really, really helpful to help support the website and, everything that goes into it as well. I think with food bloggers, a lot of them maybe don't test their recipes. And I can assure you that every Dizzy Cook recipe is tested at least 2 to 3 times before I post it, unless it's like a totally foolproof recipe. But this also means buying groceries, a lot of groceries. So our grocery bill can range from like $300 to $400 a week, just from everything I'm testing. I'm in a no waste household. I don't like just sprinkling all this stuff on my food to make it beautiful, but that we won't eat. And so I do use most of the food we make. Back when I was doing my cookbook, I was buying so much groceries and making stuff so many times that I was giving a lot of it away. But still, like, I didn't want to have any food waste. So that is the good part about this. I think my groceries are still lower than a lot of food bloggers, but it's still a big part of it. So if you factor that into the expenses every month, along with the programs I use for like editing, like Lightroom, that you have to pay for that every month just to edit your photos. A lot of the software, even to put together videos and stuff like that, it can be very expensive. And so there's so many parts that go into it and so much time and effort that goes into one recipe. I know a lot of people like the jump to recipe button. They don't like to read the post. And when you do that, I miss out on ad income, but also I notice that people ask me questions that are answered in the post. So it's kind of frustrating because I spend so much time on writing these posts and trying to answer, can you make this gluten and dairy free? And then I also get messages on it too. And it's like, I just wish people took the time to kind of look for the answer, because it's also a time issue for me. And the more messages I get like that, the less time I can spend making new content for you guys, which I'm happy to do. I'm happy to help people, but I've spent all this time and money trying to make things easily accessible on the website that it's difficult when I see people ask me questions that I know if they just spent 5 minutes on my website, they could find easily. So I just encourage you to spend some time doing that before maybe shooting to ask me a question. Obviously, I'm happy to answer any of your questions at any time, but get paid to answer questions. I don't get paid to run the Dizzy Cook recipe chat group and help everyone. I don't do coaching. I can if that's something you really need, but I find that if people start to email me a lot and text me images every time they go to the grocery store, that when I offer that, it the second you ask for payment for something, people are just like, no, don't want to do that. So it's a little bit frustrating for me because I sometimes feel like I'm being treated as your personal assistant, not you, but people's personal assistant, their personal grocery shopper, their personal checker, ingredient list checker. And I have a life too, and this site takes a lot of time, and I do want to help people as much as I can. So I just ask that to be kind, to be respectful, to maybe use the search bar, look for stuff before you just message. And then another thing that I really ask people to do is, instead of taking screenshots from the website, if you can link to the post that you're getting stuff from, so like the Foods Allowed list, instead of sending that screenshot of the thing I worked so hard on, send people a link to the post, and maybe they'll find something else on my website that can help them a little bit more. And when I see people send screenshots, I get it, it's so easy, but you're also robbing that person of so much information that they could be getting for themselves, and maybe something they would miss out on. Plus, it helps people to discover my website. So I guess what I'm saying is, I need your help. I need your help. If you want to support the Dizzy Cook, if you are in all the free resources like the recipe chat, if you are taking advantage of the meal plans and all the recipes, I just encourage you to share links with your friends and family. Even if they don't have migraine, I encourage you to share it with your neurologist. Leave reviews on the recipes. That is so helpful, not just to me, but to other people. That's such a wonderful thing. And the more people see reviews, the more that likely they'll be excited to make some of these recipes. If you've made something gluten-free that I don't talk about in the post, say that. Just say what you used, and it can be so incredibly helpful for other people. I also ask that you don't share book recipes, just because people who ask for it, and I see this a lot in my group, people say, I don't have the book, can you send me the recipe? And this, to me, not only is it going to be a copyright violation, but it's really frustrating because I spent over a year of my life working very hard on this book. And as you can see, I still don't make a ton of money from it. But that's my only thing I really charge for. And so when people ask that to me, it's just like, can you support me in some way? That would mean so much to me when you're using all these free resources. And so, like I said, I understand if people have financial issues or whatever, go to Amazon, buy the book on there. It's on major sale. You basically can't buy it for less from my publisher. And I just ask that you kind of be respectful of my hard work, because it does mean a lot to me, and it means so much to me when you guys share what you have made or what you've enjoyed. That just goes to show that all my hard work means something to you, and I really appreciate that. I hope this doesn't come off as negative in some way, or that I'm ungrateful. I just kind of wanted you guys to know the time and effort that goes into this, and how I work almost 7 days a week on this website, and I really don't pay myself for any of it. And that doesn't even include all the time that I spent volunteering for places like Vita and Miles for Migraine, and trying to be a migraine advocate in other ways. that you don't always get paid for. And so I just kind of wanted to lift the veil on all this and tell you why I can be such a stickler about, adding links to stuff or having people buy the book. This is why, because I do need your support, and this is a two-way street, So I really appreciate you guys being such amazing readers and supporters, and I just thank you so much.